Grabe raw ito mga kababayan. Sa kanyang privilege speech, binanatan ni Senador Erwin Tulfo ang Republic Act 4,566 o Contractors License Law. Ang dating proteksyon para sa publiko, ngayon daw ay nagiging proteksyon sa bulsa ng iilan. Ayon kay Tulfo, malaking conflict of interest umano ang nangyayari dahil mismong mga kontratista ang miyembro ng PCAB. Sila rin ang nagre-regulate at siya rin kumukorner ng bilyong pisong proyekto. Ang tawag na nga niya dito ay state-sanctioned conflict of interest na labag daw sa 6,713. May ulat pa raw na ilang opisyal ng board ay nakakuha ng malalaking flood control projects. Kaya isinusulong niya ang Senate Bill 1373 para amyendahan ang batas, siguraduhin na bawal ang miyembro ng PCAB na may negosyo o kontrata sa gobyerno at mas maging accountable ang mga kontratista. Isang mainit na usapin na dapat bantayan ng taumbayan.
Palawan and Davao City, no other, and the Republic of the Philippines, no other than Senator Erwin Tulfo to take advantage of the privilege hour, Mr. President.
Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege, not just with concern, but with outrage. Outrage, Mr. President, over a law that was meant to regulate the construction industry, but has now been twisted into a weapon of abuse, greed, and corruption. Ang tinutukoy ko po ay itong Republic Act No. 4566 o ang Contractors License Law. At sa ilalim ng batas na nag-amyenda dito ay ang Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board o PCAB na siyang nagbabantay, nangangasiwa at nagre-regulate sa industriya ng lahat ng konstruksyon sa Pilipinas. Maganda po ang batas na ito, maganda po ang layunin, Ginoong Pangulo. Ngunit may malaki pong problema. Ayon kasi sa nasabing batas, kailangang lahat ng mga miyembro ng PCAB ay may 10 taon o higit pang karanasan sa pangungontrata. Now, Mr. President, I ask you in this chamber, how can contractors regulate themselves? How can we expect impartiality when those who sit in judgment are the very same people who compete for and corner government projects worth billions of pesos? This is not regulation, Mr. President. This is what you call state-sanctioned conflict of interest, and it directly violates Republic Act No. 6713 or the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. And true enough, Mr. President, reports are out that some board members, supposedly watchdogs of the industry, have themselves bagged massive flood control projects like Engineer Ernie Bagao, a PCAB board member and owner of the EGB Construction Corporation. This construction company, according to President Marcos, bagged 7.7 billion pesos worth of flood control projects from 2022 to 2025. And these projects are not only tainted with allegations of overpricing and substandard work, but some are outright ghost projects. EGB Construction Corporation reportedly also owns Wow Builders, who is said to be behind several ghost projects in Bulacan, Mr. President. Ang isa pang opisyal ng PCAB na si Engineer Arthur Escalante ay nabanggit din ni Senador Ping Lacson na nakakuha ng malalaking kontrata sa pamahalaan. Tell me, Mr. President, paano magiging patas ang isang board o ahensya kung ang mga miyembro nito, opisyales, ay sumasali at nananalo sa bilyong-bilyong kontrata ng gobyerno, lalo na sa mga flood control projects na ngayon ay nalulubog sa kontrobersiya, anomalya at katiwalian. PCAB is silent because how can they investigate themselves? How can they police their own ranks when the law itself did not explicitly prohibit its officials to stop its construction business? Mr. President, let's stop sugarcoating. This is corruption in broad daylight. Mr. President, this cannot go on. We have to ask ourselves, should contractors still dominate PCAB? Should those who accredit and regulate be the same people who rake in government contracts? Should we impose a total ban on PCAB members and their companies from bidding in public works while in office with a strict cooling-off period after? It is for this reason that I filed Senate Bill number 1373, or an act strengthening the contractor's license law, further amending for the purpose Republic Act number 4566 and for other purposes. Layunin po ng panukalang batas na ito na higpitan ang regulasyon ng mga lisensya ng mga kontratista. Sinisiguro din ito na ang miyembro ng PCAB ay madidiskwalipika kung siya ay may-ari o opisyal ng mga kumpanyang may transaksyon sa pamahalaan. Mr. President, the Filipino people deserve honesty, fairness in public works projects that truly serve their communities. Not this circus where regulators double as beneficiaries, where laws are exploited and where corruption festers under the guise of legality. Ang Republic Act number 4566 ay naging bulok na batas na ginagamit sa pansariling interes. It was meant to protect the public, Mr. President, but now it is protecting the pockets of the few. Mr. President, it is time to slam the brakes on this racket. No more thieves involved in the creation of our national budget. No more regulations or regulators doubling as profiteers. No more flood control projects that serve as cash cows for the few, while millions of Filipinos ay nalulunod at inaadod ng tubig baha. Enough is enough, Mr. President. We have to take action. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Senator Erwin Tulfo.
Mr. Chair, Mr.
Majority
President,
Leader.
we move to refer the speech of the gentleman to the Committee on
Public accountability.
Public Accountability and Civil Service, Your Honor, because there is corruption that is being mentioned and malfeasance, misfeasance. So it's usually public, it's a Blue Ribbon Committee first, and then with Civil Service as secondary committee. I so move, Mr. President.
All right, any objection? Chair is none. Motion is approved.
May we recognize, I'm sorry, the good gentleman from Isabela and the Republic of the Philippines wanted to make a manifestation on the topic of Senator Erwin Tulfo. May we also recognize him, Mr. President?
Senator Rafi Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to associate myself with the privileged speech of Senator Erwin Tulfo. PCAB is currently at the center of investigations associated with either ghost or substandard government infrastructure projects. As the government institution tasked to strictly monitor licensed contractors, PCAB is in hot water as corruption, including under-the-table dealings, easily favors fly-by-night contractors and discourages honest contractors. PCAB, together with its parent agency, the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines, or CIAP, should be made accountable with this mess. hindi po sapat ang resignation ng ilang opisyal ng PCAB upang ayusin ang problemang ito. There should be major reforms to improve the licensing and accreditation process. I thank Senator Erwin for filing Senate Bill number 1373 to strengthen the contractor's license law, the law which requires all contractors, subcontractors, and especially contractors to obtain license from the PCAB. In line with this, Mr. President, is a gentleman from Palawan, Ilocos, and Davao willing to answer a few questions.
Sure, Mr. President.
But before
You may proceed.
because Ilocos, my father is from Ilocos, my mom is from Davao, and he has a residence in Palawan. So, is that correct, Mr. President?
That's true, Mr. President.
Okay. Before my question, Mr. President, I just need to make some point here. During the last hearing sa Blue Ribbon, I called the attention of the leadership of PCAB. Nasabi ko dapat yung mga opisyalis na yon ay ma-issuean ng whole departure order, particularly these people. Number one, Dr. Pericles Dakay, Engineer Arthur Escalante, Engineer Ernie Bagao, Attorney Herbert Matienzo, Attorney Marco Matt and Doris Gacho. Ito po yung mga opisyalis ng PCAB para sa akin ay dapat maimbestigahan at kung kinakailangan ay makasuhan. Bakit kanyo, Mr. President, I found out na prior to May 12, 2022, ang sinisingil na para sa licensing fee ng mga contractor na nag-a-apply para maging contractor was 100 pesos. Again, 100 pesos. Pero nung May 12, 2022, naging effective yung RA 11711, amending the contractor's license law from 100 pesos, ito ay dapat, ang sinisingil na ay 5,000 pesos. Pero gayon pa man, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang paniningil nitong mga taga-PCAB ng 100 pesos at sino-shortchange ang government ng 4,900. Ang tanong, saan na pupunta yung 4,900 pesos kada aplikante ng mga contractor? Kaya nag-issue ang Commission on Audit ng report at sinasabing sila ay short ng 258 million pesos. At nung kinausap ko sa nasabing hearing, ito mga taga-PCAB, ang sinabi nila kasi nag-issue sila ng IRR at pinorward kay Presidente bago raw mai-implement yung 5,000 na singil. And I told them, hindi, kasi wala doon sa procedure, sa provision, na dapat magkaroon ng IRR para makasingil ng 5,000, gawing it effective after maipass yung RA 711. Ang sabi ng Presidente, kasi yun daw ang sabi ng kanilang mga abogado. So sabi ko, yung mga abogado nila siguro ay kailangan na mag-resign dahil hindi nila alam kung ano yung pinanggagawa nila. But anyway, Mr. President, my question to Senator Erwin, ano po ay mga salient features ng SBN 1373?
Marami po, Sen. Rafi, Mr. President, ang meron itong Republic Act, or not Republic Act, but SB 1373. Narito po ang ilan dito, ang reorganisasyon po ng PCAB na ang kanilang mga miyembro na 5, chairman plus 4 po na miyembro, ay dapat po mga representante mula sa DPWH, Securities and Exchange Commission, at contracting industry at saka academe or civil society. At alisin na po yung mga kontratista na mga nakaupo po doon. Isa pa po, mas stricto na qualification para sa mga miyembro. Dapat po ang miyembro nito ay natural-born Filipino, residente po ng 8 taon dito sa ating bayan, at least 35 years old na may maganda pong moral character. Disqualification cannot be an owner po officer or stockholder of a construction company with government transactions. Dapat po wala kung siya po ay may negosyo. If a conflict of interest arises during his tenure, the member must divest interest within 30 days, Mr. President. Isa pa pong feature nito ay ang fixed term of office. Ang chairman at ang mga miyembro ay magsisilbi po ng 3 taon at wala na pong reappointment. Enhanced powers of PCAB. PCAB can now investigate violations motu proprio on its own or upon verified complaints. Ang nangyayari po kasi ngayon, Mr. President, hindi sila nag-iimbestiga dahil paano nila iimbestigahan ang kanilang mga sarili, Mr. President. At panghuli po, stronger accountability of contractors. Prescripted period of filing charges extended to 10 years. Yung mga substandard at saka mga ghost projects, dapat po kahit na 10 taon na yan at pwede pong kasuhan. Renewal after revocation of license may only be reissued upon proof, demonstrable financial and operating capacity, full satisfaction of losses, costs, and compliance with condition of revocation. Yan po ang mga salient features po ng naturang Senate bill. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I'm looking forward na itong PCAB sa susunod na hearing, either Blue Ribbon o sa public accountability ay mapatawag lalo itong mga opisyalis nila nang sa gayon magsagawa tayo ng malalim na investigasyon hinggil sa mga kalokohan ng mga taong ito. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Rafi.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Yeah, may we recognize Senator Marcoleta, Mr. President.
Senator Rodante Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is our colleague, Mr. President, still amenable for a few clarificatory questions by way of interpellation?
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. President, is our honorable colleague aware of the fact that the 15 contractors identified by the President of the Philippines in his initial report about the anomalous corruption in the flood control projects are not even members of the Philippine Contractors Association?
Mr. President, yung si Attorney Ernie Bagaw na mention po na may-ari ng EGB Construction ay isa po doon sa top 15 na ayon po sa listahan ng Pangulo ay nakakuha po ng 7.7 billion pesos. Siya po ay board member ng PCAB, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I think our good colleague didn't get the question. Mr. President, is our colleague aware of the fact that the 15 contractors identified in these anomalous flood control projects are not even members of the Philippine Contractors Association?
We will have to check on that, Mr. President. I don't have the list right now, but I can check it and probably give the copy to the gentleman from Pampanga.
Mr. President, there is no need for that because this representation knows the fact that these 15 identified contractors are not members of the Philippine Contractors Association. Why am I asking this question, Mr. President? The Philippine Contractors Association is the primary organization of the most reputable contractors in this country.
At dyan nagtatapos ang usapan natin ngayon. Kung may gusto kang idagdag o reaksyon, i-comment mo lang sa baba. Boses mo'y mahalaga. Huwag kalimutang i-like, share, at subscribe para sama-sama nating palakasin ang Tinig ng Bayan. Hanggang sa susunod, tandaan, ang may alam, may laban!
Awesome!